Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello guys, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Battlestar Galactica Season 2, Episode 17. Today I'm gonna watch the end of the Season 2, the 4 last episodes in just one day. I'm really excited about that because we know that with shows, especially with that kind of shows, we can expect big things to happen during the end of one season, so I cannot wait to see what they prepared for the end of this season. I think that the two last episodes are working together, so I want to see that. Before beginning, yes, I'm still in confinement, yes, I'm still living that well, no, I'm not going crazy, even if I'm a little bored sometimes and I'm beginning to be like, I want to go out, I want to see my friends, I want to see my family. Even if, you know, we have to protect ourselves and to not be close to each other and to not touch each other and stuff like that, I want to see them, you know, I want to discuss with them, not just with a video, not just with phone calls and stuff like that, so it's beginning to be long, you know. In France, they told us that we're gonna be released, you know, the 11th of May, but little by little, I don't know what they are meaning with that, and I cannot wait to discover that. But yes, I'm not going mad, I'm not going crazy, I'm not going sad, I'm just trying my best to occupy myself with activities, with filming videos, editing them for you guys, and really this time that I'm spending to do that for you and for me, it's really a good time, it's really a good way to occupy me during this confinement, so that's really great. Okay, about Battlestar Galactica, where we are now into Battlestar Galactica. What I remember about the last episode is the fact that we lost Billy, and I'm still sad because of that. One of you told me that it's because of the fact that the actor wanted, you know, to get out of the show, and that's why they offered him that end. I didn't make my research, my homework with that, so I don't know if it's true or not, but it would explain, you know, that death right now into that episode. But the way you're doing it, you know, for the character, for me, it's not giving him a good end. I mean, it's giving him a good end because it's showing that he was brave, that he was really brave, and he was trying to save everyone, but you know, he did it just after learning that Dee was not gonna accept his proposal, and because of the fact that she already had someone into her mind, and she dated that someone on the same day that he proposed to her. Poor Billy, really? Poor Billy. He was heartbroken and he was desperate, and that was a desperate move also that he made. I'm sad for him, you know, to die like that, and that's why I don't think that it was a good end, you know, for his character, because he died without hope, without future, and for a character like him, you know, who was representing, in my opinion, into the show the bright future, because they said that he might have been the new president. They said that they were fighting for him and Dee, you know, for having kids. So for me, it was really representing the future and the bright future, a shiny future. So to have him killed like that, for me it's symbolic. In fact, it's symbolic of the fact that this future is not gonna happen, the bright future and the clear future is not gonna happen, and I think that it would have been a good thing for him, for his character, for the development of his character, to lose Dee like that, and maybe to lose hope, and to have him losing hope. Since the beginning, he was always the hopeful one, he was always the one who was counseling the president by saying maybe naive things, you know, naive thoughts, but he was like that, so maybe to have him losing Dee, it could have changed him, and maybe we would have seen another face of him, another side of him, and it would have been interesting in my opinion. So that's why I was really not expecting to see him dying during this episode, so I'm still sad that we lost him and that we lost him like that, for all of what it means for his character and for the show, you know, for the story. Like that, I have to deal with that. About the rest of the characters, do I need to talk about this scene? I was surprised myself during the editing to not see myself talking a lot about this scene during my review between Lee and Starbuck. That's a slow burn ship for sure, but I'm also really sure that we're gonna have it one day. But before that, they're gonna kill me if they're doing that again and again to give us the both of them together, but not really, because one is having Anders into her head, one is having D into his head. They are meant to be together, and I have the impression that they know that also, that they are meant to be together, and I'm like, why not accepting that? Why not accepting your feeling? Why not accepting, you know, this to be happy? Are both not accepting to be happy since the beginning of the show. Lee is feeling guilty of so many things, like I didn't count all of them, but the two ones that I have into my mind, it's the fact that he lost his brother and is feeling guilty to be alive and not his brother. He's feeling guilty because of what he did to his girlfriend on Caprica. He's feeling guilty about so many things. That can explain also, in my opinion, why he has this savior syndrome, you know. He's always trying to save everyone, to do things like he's a savior, and maybe it can be explained by the fact that he's feeling guilty of so many things that he has to be like that, you know, to balance it. That's my explanation for his character. And Starbuck, she's not choosing her man well, in my opinion. She slept with Gaius. She slept with Anders knowing that he was gonna stay on Caprica. I'm also thinking that during these 4 episodes, one of them, or maybe more than one of them, we're gonna go back on Caprica to save Anders and the others. I really think that we're gonna be back with them. Maybe we're gonna bring other people who can be interesting. Maybe we're gonna bring other Cylons also, maybe other appearances, you know, of Cylons. We'll see. About Cylons, we have a blonde Cylon into Cloud 9 that Gaius is protecting and is talking to, and he gave her a nuclear head. Gaius, what did you do just right now? I was like, no, you didn't do that. And he did it, for sure he did it. You know my theory about Gaius, you know that I think that he's a Cylon. It would explain a lot of things in my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong with that. But I cannot see what he can be, and if it's not that, you know, to be involved like that into the Cylon story, to be used like that by the Cylons, to be trusted like that by the Cylons, like why him? There is an explanation behind that, and for me, you know, the memories that he had on Cobol was really a switch for me. It really means something, in my opinion. It really means that, yes, he's involved into the Cylon story, and maybe because he is one of them, or he is the one who created them, and he has the mind of the ones who created them. I don't know. I have this impression about him. There is something wrong with him since the beginning. I'm glad that the president is not dying, because it means that he's not gonna be the president. I'm really glad about that. But I'm wondering also about that. You know, the prophecy said that this dying president would never see Earth. And I have the impression that we're gonna lose Earth during a battle or something like that because of that, because of the prophecy. We can't keep her. If we want to find Earth, I have the impression that we can't keep her. We'll see. So that's it, and like usually with Battlestar Galactica, I'm making a video for 2 episodes at a time. You have the reaction part into the description. When you will finish to watch the first episode, please come back for a quick review of it, and then go back to the description part for the reaction part of the second episode, and then the big review of the 2 episodes together into this YouTube video. please make that effort. It's a way also to reward me for my work for this video. Let's go now for the episode 17. Okay, a short review about this episode before beginning the episode 18. I'm not even sure that I want to talk about the elephant into the room, you know, this abortion thing. For me, that's a fundamental right that you can't give up, that you can't forbid. I'm sorry, it's against all of my principles and values and all of what I'm thinking. I can't be okay with that. I heard, you know, their reasons, and their reasons, you know, can be logical into that situation, but even with that, even knowing that, that's a right that I would never give up on. So that's a right that I would never want them to give up on. So for the president to make that decision, I cannot be okay with that, I cannot agree with her, and I cannot accept it, and I cannot, with my heart, understand it. Do you understand what I mean? And it's even less logical, you know, because of what she did with that girl. If you are supporting that girl, how can you decide that? And the contrary also. How can you decide that for all of the fleet and not for that girl? Because you met her, because you saw her? That's illogical. No, that's also really hypocrite in my opinion. But I don't know how I can talk more about that, and like I said, I'm not even sure that I want to discuss about that. Like, if you are coming in the comments to explain me all of the reasons that they already said during this episode, I'm not sure that I want even to discuss about that, you know. It's really a strong opinion that I have, and nothing that you can say is gonna change my mind about it. I mean, you can have your opinion and you can express it in the comments in a polite way, but don't be surprised if I'm not responding to you. Don't be surprised about that, because like I said, it's such a strong opinion, it's such a strong right for me that I'm never gonna give up on. So discussing about it, for me, it's almost like I don't see the point of discussing about it. I really don't see it, so it's like that. About the rest of the episode, now we have Lee being the commander of the Pegasus. They named it the Beast during the episode. Maybe I can name it the Beast now also, to forget the Pegasus. Forget what the Pegasus did, all of this crew, the mentality of this crew, and to really believe that they changed. Like I said, it's not because you have some assholes into a community that this community is just made with assholes, you know. That's not working like that. Lee is now the commander of the Beast. That's not great for his new relationship with Dee. I'm not against it, I'm repeating it, but I'm not reacting great to it because of course I'm shipping Lee with Starbuck, but also because I see, you know, the intentions that they are putting into that relationship. I see, you know, the lines and all of that, that sweet lines and that sweet moves. But the looks that they are giving to each other, how they are acting together, I don't see it, I don't feel it, you know, the chemistry, the you know, I don't feel it, and I felt it, you saw it with Starbuck and Anders. Even if I was shipping already Lee with Starbuck, I felt it between Starbuck and Anders. I felt the chemistry, I felt that something was happening, like true feelings and stuff like that. So I'm sorry to not feel it for Dee and Lee, because again, I'm not against their relationship, but also the way that it happened, you know. Dee not saying the truth to Billy and flirting with Lee even if she was with Billy, and Billy proposing to her, her not accepting it, and dating Lee on the same day. Of course I'm not gonna be okay with that situation, and that's not a good situation to build an old relationship on, you know. So maybe that's why also I'm reacting like that. Garner, you know, the commander of the Pegasus before Lee, I didn't like him all along the episode, so it's not because of one heroic move that I'm gonna be sad that we just lost him. I'm more like, okay, at the end you repaired your fault, you know, it was your responsibility, it was your fault that all of this happened, so you repaired your fault, okay, we're done with that, we're over with the situation and with you, that's alright, let's move on. But I think that this situation and this Garner can have maybe an impact on Lee on the way that he's gonna lead people, because he's thinking about the people and not them as machines, you know. So that can be great to see how Lee is gonna lead, you know, that ship now. That's great. Father and son, you know, now both leading the ships. That's great. And now Gaius is officially candidate to be president. I don't want him to be the president for sure, because I'm suspicious about him. I think that he might be a Cylon, but also because he's annoying, he's lying, and he's speaking to a Cylon into his head. So having him with powers and all of that, that's not something that I want, but his speech was really well done at the real good moment, and he's gonna take advantage of the situation of the president, the official president, giving up on a fundamental right. That's a good thing for Gaius. We'll see. I think that we're gonna have the election before the end of the season. That can be interesting. And I'm seeing also that maybe we're gonna have them saving the ones who are still on Caprica before the end of the season. It would be logical, you know, to end that issue during this season. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break and I will be back for the next episode, which is already for you into the reaction part after the episode 17. And then please come back on this YouTube video for the long review of the 2 episodes together. Let's go! I'm gonna check that, but I think that yes, I saw her in the role of V. That was a show that didn't last long, you know. The new version of it, I mean, 2009, that's it. Only 2 seasons. And show me the characters. Yes, she was playing Anna, no? Oh no, that's not her. I'm sorry, that was not her. Where did I see that woman? Yes! In the 100! That was not in V, that was in the 100. And into the 100, she was the one who did a lot of bad stuff. I mean, she's playing a character with 2 different sides into the 100. She is the nice engineer and also the one who decided of the end of the world. Oh, I need to stop to think about that when I'm seeing her on screen, because I think that we're gonna see more of her on screen. She can really play a lot of different faces, she can be nice and evil. Like into the 100, when she is evil, she's wearing that red thing. That was maybe, you know, a wink for the fans of Battlestar Galactica, now that I think about it. But I knew the 100 before I watched Battlestar Galactica, so I didn't have it. Oh, I need to stop thinking about that if we're gonna see her again during the show. Because I mean, it happens, Battlestar Galactica, what happens right there, before the 100, so what she did into the 100 didn't impact what she did before with Battlestar Galactica. Because I saw her playing these 2 different sides, I'm still questioning that this actress, I know that about her, so now I'm thinking that we're gonna see her again and maybe she's not who she says she is. I mean, she is a great actress, so they're gonna use her. They can't just use her for not even 10 minutes into one episode, we're gonna see her again. And if we're gonna see her again, maybe... I know. This actress, if we are not thinking about her, if we are thinking about her character and what it means, her character for the show, she's gonna raise a baby half human, half silent, without knowing that she is a baby half human, half silent. The baby is not gonna know that. No one is gonna know that. In fact, if it's not the president and Adama. No one knows that secret. The doctor also knows that secret because he lied to Hilo and Boomer. He said that the baby died. I mean, that was a clever move to not kill a child, to keep an eye on her, you know, how she's gonna evolve, how she's gonna grow. But now the Cylons are sure that the baby died. But like the blonde Cylon told to Gaius, they're gonna come and take revenge because of that. They're gonna think that they killed that child who represented their future, who represented the face of the things which are gonna come. Something real bad is gonna happen during the next episode, and maybe we're gonna lose people during the next episode because of that. Because their revenge is gonna be terrible. Boomer and Hilo, I'm so sad for them. They were so sweet with their kid. I was so curious to see her face, how it's gonna turn out, but she has a real face. I want to follow her, I want to have news about her during the next episode, how she's gonna evolve and all of that. Era, does it mean something? During the editing, I'm gonna check that if it means something. I mean, I'm thinking of a new era, you know. I think that it's translated like that in English. Une nouvelle ère, a new era, a new thing, you know, a new beginning, a new time, a new period of time. Yes, she's representing that. The new era, the new period of time, a change. But yes, their revenge is gonna be terrible. The Cylons, what they're gonna do now. And the Cylons on Earth, oh, my head hurts just to think about all of what they said and all of what it means. They resurrected the blonde Cylon that Gaius loved and the Boomer that the chief loved, they resurrected. They are taking time to do that, like 36 hours. I thought that it was less than that, like it's taking a lot of time. But they resurrected and they remembered their feelings, and that's why they are not silent like the other ones, because they had true feelings for one human, not the same, but one human. That's why they are different. So they helped Anders. Anders knows that about them. So I think that we're gonna save, you know, the ones who are still in Caprica during the 2 last episodes of this season. But Anders, is he gonna say something about these 2 women who saved him? And maybe we're gonna take them with us? It means that Gaius is gonna be reunited with the blonde Cylon that he loved, and that the chief is gonna be reunited with the Boomer that he loved. That's gonna be a mess. But the messier thing about this episode is the fact that the blonde Cylon is haunted by Gaius. I thought, and you saw it, when Gaius appeared just like that near to number 6, I was like, oh, I was right, he's a Cylon. But in fact, no, he's a ghost. I think that I'm gonna name them ghosts, you know. Ghost Gaius and Ghost Blonde Cylon for the next episodes, because if I'm not doing that, that's gonna be a mess to analyze all of that and for you to follow my thoughts. So to have the blonde Cylon having a ghost Gaius, that's interesting, of course, but that's also questioning me so much about what it means. How can it work? I mean, my theory about the fact that Gaius is haunted by Blunt Cylon ghost is the fact that he is a Cylon and is connected to the Cylons. He had the memories of someone who created them maybe, but he is a Cylon, you know. He had these memories downloaded into that body, that Gaius. But for her to be haunted by him, maybe because he is a Cylon and they are connected with each other, no matter what. I'm waiting for Ghost Gaius to do something with real number 6, like Ghost number 6 is doing things with the real Gaius. Like, she's not just talking to him, she's also manipulating him and telling him stuff to do, and you know, she's violent also with him, she's like that with him, so I'm waiting for that moment when Ghost Gaius is gonna do the same with the real number 6. Because if not, maybe she's just haunted by Ghost Gaius because she's in love with him. So, my mind hurts. I'm surprised that we didn't see other Cylons on Caprica. Like, we have 12 different versions, you know, 12 different appearances. Okay, we know a lot of them, but not so much. And you are telling me that just these ones are, you know, replicating themselves on Caprica, not the other ones? For what reason, you know? I don't understand that. I thought that we were gonna discover at least one more during this episode because we have so many Cylons on Caprica that we can't see just the ones that we already know. I mean, the appearances that we already know. I want to see at least one more. Before the end of the season, we need to discover one more. I'm voting for D. I was suspicious about her at some point. For Gaius, of course, or someone that we can't suspect. That would be a good thing, you know. Someone that we never suspected to be a Cylon. I'm not even thinking about Lee and Starbuck because they are my two babies and they are too emotional, both of them, to be Cylons. The Colonel's wife, Helen, we'll see. But yes, I want to know one more before the end of this season. So we had Boomer having her baby during this episode. So if we are thinking like that, we need to resolve also other issues during this season, like saving the ones who are on Caprica, knowing at least one more Cylon, having information also about what is happening between Gaius and the Blunt Cylon. Like, we ended the season 1 with Gaius remembering all of this stuff on Cobol. So I think that we're gonna have another big reveal like that during this season, during the end of this season, to explain more the situation with the Cylons and Gaius, how he is related to all of that. I want to see that. And I'm gonna see that. I'm gonna take a little break and then I'm gonna see the 2 last episodes of this season 2 for you. It's gonna be in another day and for me in just some minutes. So it's all for you for today and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.